Hello, everyone. Welcome back to this week's episode of Things I Wish I Knew About. Guys, I'm so sorry. This week we have my sister. My sister is my special guest, but I'm not talking to her about all the things that you wish you knew about me, growing up with me, the fabulous that is me.
No.
We're actually going to talk about our boobs. I think I'm going to call this Things I Wish I Knew About Having a Double Mastectomy, right?
It's pretty spot on.
That's it.
It's
Nail
pretty-
on the head.
It's pretty on the nose.
So things I wish I knew about having a double mastectomy. You're in luck, guys, because both of us had a double mastectomy, but we had two very different experiences. So we're going to talk to you about that. Hey, Kelli, welcome to the podcast. Why don't you tell everyone a little bit about yourself?
I'm the younger sister.
Lies, first of all, lies immediately. Kelli is my older sister. She's 5 years older than me. I am taller and my face just looks older, but she's older.
I've never had Botox.
I get Botox quarterly.
Now, please don't comment like you need it because I said that.
No, I hope you
fucked
do.
up. I messed up. Sorry, I messed up. I
Yeah,
have nothing.
don't swear.
Yeah, I have. You're gonna ask me, or you want me to just say?
No.
Have you talked about it already?
No,
Like
nope,
your experience?
nope. This is the first one. So
Okay.
Kelli is my older sister.
I am.
We grew up in Toronto.
It's true.
I've known her my whole life. We have the same parents.
It's true.
And our mother died of breast cancer when I was 14 and she was 19. So, I mean, I get your memories of that time will be better. We actually just spoke to one of our cousins a couple weeks ago about the kind of breast cancer that it was.
Yeah, I couldn't even tell you. It was it's aggressive, something.
So she was diagnosed, our mother was diagnosed with breast cancer when she was 42. And it was the 90s though, right? Like, so it was 1991 when she was diagnosed because I was 11.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a very aggressive kind and they caught it late and things are obviously very different now with, technology and early detection and all that. But it's been prevalent, at least in my mind, monthly. Every month, I'm like, when is the month that it's going to happen for me? I don't know if it's the same for you. If you
Obviously.
Why is that obvious?
No, I just forgot about it.
All right.
It was like,
Okay. So Kelly's boobs are way bigger than my boobs.
It's true
So you probably had to look way harder.
We're not
and longer.
I was a terrible self-examination person because it gave me anxiety.
Of course. I think it gives everybody anxiety.
No,
they're like,
yeah.
do it in the shower. But I was like, God forbid. Actually, one time in university, I did find a lump and I was like 19 and I had to go to the clinic at University of Guelph, but it ended up just being like a benign, like lump, like fibrous tissues. Anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So within our family, I'll tell you the act story another time, but
I'm going to drink a bit of an ice cup.
Excellent.
Okay.
Within our family, a few of our cousins as well have breast cancer. One passed away from it. Is that she had the same kind as mom, right? And then
they're both cousin because it matters apparently.
The maternal side.
Yeah, so it was both our mothers, two of her sisters, their daughters.
Yeah.
Had it.
And then one of our grandmother's sisters passed away from ovarian cancer. So all of this to say there was, like this always kind of this idea of it's there, women's health. Here's the thing. We live in Ontario and you would think it'd be very easy to get testing because everyone's like, do genetic testing. But there are a lot of factors that need to fall into place in order for you to qualify for the $1,500 test. And we didn't.
Yeah. First.
Because BRCA.
No, I know. I was always told that you have to, so my first mammogram was supposed to be 10 years.
Yeah.
That's how it really started for me. You have to have your first mammogram 10 years before the age of
her diagnosis.
Yeah, her diagnosis. So she was diagnosed at 42. I started having mammograms at 32. That was the, I don't know, guideline.
5 years after Kelli.
Okay.
I'm 5 years younger.
All right.
Substantially.
Again.
Yeah, so that's how it started.
And every year I would go and it's anxiety.
Did you get one every year?
I think so. I don't remember it being 32. I'm being serious.
I feel like I don't know if I went every year or every other year.
Maybe.
Anyway, so we
Whatever
started this whole early detection, whatever, right? But for me, and I'm assuming for Kelli as well, I had this kind of mentality of you're gonna tell me when you find something, right? Like I don't want to wait until I find something.
No, obviously.
So Kelli and I, neither one of us had cancer, which is, we can preface that right away. So these are not surgeries that we had because we were getting rid of any kind of tumors.
It's called prophylactic.
Prophylactic.
It's true.
Angelina Jolie was really the one who spearheaded this. for me.
What?
Yeah.
That's weird.
No?
No, I would go to I went to my doctor.
Well, obviously, but Angelina Jolie was the only person that I knew that had a preventative mastectomy because her mother died of breast cancer.
No, I know, but I didn't. She's never been on my mind
That's
in
weird.
my life.
I think about her daily.
Okay, that's weird. No, I would say to my doctor, I want the screening or whatever, because she would talk about it. I'd say, what are the options?
For BRCA.
Just in general, because
But
this
it's a
is my history.
very specific kind of screening that they do.
No, I know, but she was the one who suggested going to Sunnybrook.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
So when you get
not Angelina Jolie.
That's so
she
weird.
actually didn't tell me.
She called me. I guess she doesn't like you as much.
It was my doctor. Weird.
That's too bad.
Mm-hmm.
So for the everybody knows the BRCA, the specific gene that is very prevalent in women that have breast cancer. So when you do the genetic testing, I think it's just a blood test, right?
I think it's actually a swab.
Oh, okay. So they check your genetics, but there's the test that they do is only something like 15 genes that they're testing for, when in reality you have like hundreds, right?
Yeah,
that you could test, but the specific test that we did not qualify for would have cost us $1,500.
I think so, and we didn't qualify because basically not enough people
had died
in our family.
Oh, I'm so sorry. We need more. We need more deaths.
So burn on us. That's ridiculous.
We qualified because it's the same genetics for the preventative oncology department at Sunnybrook, which is the women's health. So what that means is once a year. So for the first little bit, it was twice a year because they need a baseline. You get 1 mammogram and 1 MRI. My sister does not like an MRI.
I don't like it. It's goddamn terrible.
Listen, little fun side note. One time we happened to have it scheduled on the same day. We had a mammogram. And for this particular mammogram, you go in, you're stuck. I don't know if you've had a or any kind of.
I know. I don't want to stress people out.
No, an MRI.
But I'll tell them why I hate it. It's nothing like painful.
No.
It's literally, it's in my head.
It's a tube, but for this, you're face down and your boobs are just hanging out, just boobajubas flopping around.
They put a vitamin on your nipples.
They do. They put a vitamin E. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. They tape it onto your nipple.
Why do you even have a podcast?
I forgot that they did that. And then you slowly go into this tube.
Do you want to know why? Are you going to tell them why?
It's not the same for me. You go nuts.
No, I'm talking about why they put that on your nipples.
Oh, sure. Go just for fashion.
It's so when they read it, they can see. I guess it lights up more or something. I hope no actual doctors are listening to this.
Yeah, you really clarified that for the people.
Scientific. It's so in the MRI picture, they can see where your nipples are.
Yes.
Anyway.
And then they can track, like they can
whatever.
Check where the lines would shoot out, because you do have the dye in your body, right? They give you an IV. And
this is my issue.
Kelly doesn't like the needles. So you go in face down, they map your breast. You do that once a year. We had them twice a year, but one time Kelly and I had them right after each other. And she was before me, and I'm like, man, this is fucking taking forever. And I'm sitting there in a hall, and you can't have your phone, and there's nothing to do. So I was staring at a wall for 45 minutes until she comes out, and she's like, no, I didn't do it.
I did do it. I didn't do all of it.
And I'm like, after all that, I sat here. Anyways.
I can do it. Whatever. I can do it all. And then they inject the dye in me.
And they tell you when they do
and
it.
And they say, so then I feel like I can feel it going everywhere into my body. And
anyways, all this to say, we're part of this program. So I'm speaking to one of the doctors. For some reason, I ended up being first in this. I don't know why, but I spoke to my doctor who was assigned to me, and I said, I really would like to explore the prophylactic option. Like, I would love to. I'm done having babies. I'm done nursing. I would much rather just have a little bit of peace of mind. And if this surgery is available to me, I would like to explore that option. And the thing about that is that we didn't qualify for the genetic testing, but based on our family history, we did qualify for the very invasive, very expensive surgery.
Yeah, so you have to have, your family history has to show you're 25% or more likely.
Yeah.
To get breast cancer from family history.
Yeah.
I guess. Is that how you say it?
Kelly's was like 30 and mine was 32 for some reason. You'd think they'd be the same, but I think it's based on our age.
Yeah.
Once again.
Okay.
So youthful.
All right.
So the doctor was lovely, but, they try to say,
it's their department. They want,
for sure,
they want you to continue because they want, to me, I feel like they want research.
Sure.
So obviously the more people in their program it's not called preventative. It's going to make me crazy.
All right.
Anyway. Yeah. They want, statistics and numbers.
Yeah, so they want us to stay in there.
I
But
think
but
so.
again, that's what I said to the surgeon. I said, "You're gonna tell me when you find something, and I'd much rather
Yeah, it makes
just
no sense to me.
why are we waiting?" For me personally, why are we waiting?
Yeah, I don't
Let's
want
just
it.
get this out of the way. And she's like, because they give you some options where you could just stay in this program. You could take this pill for 5 years, which is like a low dose chemo. And I was like, "For what? No, thank you." Anyways, I said I would just love a referral. I'd love a referral to a surgeon because that was the next step. She referred me to a surgeon, which was part of the UHN.
But they still didn't. They were like, "Sure, but you're never gonna get a call.
Oh,
They're
but
gonna
that's the
call you
next
for, like,
step.
5 years." They didn't. I don't know, I just feel like they were like, "I guess, but why?" I don't
Well,
know. I just feel like you had to fight for it.
you did. We definitely had to advocate for ourselves. And I think that would be a big takeaway. I know this is an early takeaway, but if this is something that you're interested in, you are going to have to advocate for yourself because it's not going to be like, here's this option. You have to go in and specifically ask and say, I'd like to explore this. Is this a possibility for me?
I feel like you have to go in and say, "This is my end goal."
It's true.
Period.
It's true. I did.
Not
I
tell
was
me.
not, I'm being very nice now, but I wasn't, I was like, I appreciate that, but I'd like a referral. No, thank you. I'd like a referral.
Mm,
Multiple times, I'd like a referral.
yeah,
And
I'm
then I
not
got a
in.
referral. So then I went to my doctor, who was Dr. O'Neill. And she came in and we discussed, and I said, this is what I would like to do. Am I a candidate for this surgery? Is this possible? And she did an exam. And at the time, I was really working on my fitness. I'm so sad because she was like, I need you to put on some weight because there are a couple of options for when you do have the mastectomy. So again, this is not cancer. It's a very different scenario if you have to deal with lymph nodes, and there's a whole other group of factors. But because this was preventative, I had the option of either I could go flat if I wanted to. Kelly had the same options. Kelly had to do a reduction, but you can talk about that.
Sure.
Booba jubas.
I also did not have to lose weight or put on weight.
I did. I had to.
I probably could have gone in and said, I don't know, what do you want, like an eye? You wanna make me an eye? Because that's how much fat I had to
Stop it.
bear.
She said, you're going to have to put on weight because I could go to flat, which I didn't want to do. I could get implants, which I also didn't want to do because I didn't, it was a whole other surgery. I just didn't want to deal with implants. That wasn't the path for me. And the third option, which is far more invasive, but ultimately ended up being the one that both of us went with, was a DIEP flap reconstruction. I don't know what DIEP flap stands for.
I don't know.
It's an
Probably
acronym. It's DIEP.
I don't know.
So what that
Put
means
it on the
is
bottom.
they do the mastectomy. That's the one I went with. And so what that means is they take the fat from your stomach and they rebuild you
Below your belly button.
below your belly button. Yeah. So like higher than a C-section, lower than your belly button. But it's an invasive scar. It's hip to hip. And they take the fat from your stomach and they rebuild your breast from that. But it's not as simple as just doing like liposuction where they're just filling this in. They literally have to go layer by layer and reconnect the blood vessels. So we'll come back to the actual surgeries, I guess, because
Yeah.
again, we had very different surgeries. So I went first. Kelly's, I don't know why that happened, but it just so happened that my
I
surgery.
had a different surgeon as well.
We
So
did. Same department, but
Yeah.
but a different surgeon.
Princess Margaret is where it's out of, but the surgeries are universal.
Mine was out of
Mine was Princess Margaret.
not Toronto General. What's the other one? Mount Sinai. Mine was at a Mount Sinai. The surgery was at Toronto General.
And mine was Princess Margaret. But they're all partners, like in the
Yeah, it's all connected to the U.
breastology, I guess, is what their department is.
So once we were like, okay, this is what I want to do, sign all the paperwork. They're like, okay, go home and wait. So I had my first meeting with her in June, but this was COVID too. So I had to go in, by myself, la la la. And then you wait. You just wait for a phone call. It is what it is. And you have no choice as to when the surgery comes. So I get a call the first week of December. And the secretary said, hey, we have a surgery appointment for you on New Year's Eve. Are you available? And I was like, yeah, let's fucking go. So it was 3 weeks from that date, which is not a lot of time, which is also kind of good. But Lou was off during that time because the thing about this surgery with the DIEP flap is that it is a 12-week recovery. For Kelly is 37 weeks.
7 weeks.
We're still in it, actually. We're still in her recovery for me, but it's a 12-week recovery. And for the first at least 3, you're fairly bedridden. Like you can get up, go to the bathroom, but you need to have some support, whatever. So we booked this surgery. I'm like, yes, let's do it. Goodbye to my nipples because your nipples are going to go. Can you rebuild your nipples?
Yes, people.
This is a Kelly situation.
I like nipples.
She's all into the nipples.
I am.
I don't
like
care.
them. I don't, whatever.
I was like, take them. We're good. Cool. I go for
She said she was actually going to get, I'm so distracted, but you were going to get eyeballs.
I am. I still might. One lazy eye. One pointing off to the side.
Tattooed is what she means.
I'm gonna try out some temporary tattoos. Maybe I'll do flowers one day. Maybe it'll be eyeballs.
I'm too vain for that.
How many people see your nipples?
You don't know who sees my nipples.
I guess.
And who will.
I guess. You can't predict the future.
You don't know.
Fuck your husband. Or somebody else. Who knows?
This is what I'm saying.
So I go in for the surgery. So my surgery was 9.5 hours. And the reason that it's so long is because it's 2 surgeries. So the first surgery, the actual mastectomy surgery, she explained it to me where
2 surgeries like at once though.
At once.
Don't say
at
that.
once. It's 2 surgeries at once.
2 parts.
2 parts to the
You're
surgery.
a terrible explainer.
I am not.
All right.
So the
Tell
first
me in the
one,
comments who's a better explainer. Okay, continue.
Yeah, tell me more about that preventative word. What's the word?
I thought about it. I think that it's just called
Okay. So the first surgery is done by
detection. I think it's early detection.
a general surgeon.
It is.
And it's basically, she said, like scooping out a pumpkin. So her job is to go in and remove all of the tissue in and around the breast. They don't go into the lymph nodes because I didn't need it because there's no cancer present. They do that with both breasts. And then the plastic surgeon comes in and does the second half of the surgery, which is the DEP flap, where they're meticulously reconnecting each and every blood vessel.
That's why it takes forever.
Mine was 9.5 hours. For me, it felt like nothing. When I was lying on the thing at the very end, the anesthesiologist comes up and they have the mask on and there's like a million, it's extensive. There was 11 people in the room for me, all women, super fucking badasses. But I'm lying there and the girl comes up and she puts the mask on me and she says, okay, you're just going to take some deep breaths for me. And then you're going to slowly go to sleep. And I looked at her and I said, I'll miss you. And she goes, no, you won't. And it's true. I did nothing. And then up. 2 seconds later, coming out of the surgery was not my favorite. I get super nauseous from anesthesia.
I do not.
Yeah, you didn't. Okay. But they put you in a recovery room and then every hour on the hour, they come in and they ultrasound Doppler. They Doppler check your breast to make sure there's blood flow. So they're listening for blood flow. There's not a lot of sleeping happening, but you end up staying in the hospital. This is me again. We'll get to Kelly in a second. You end up staying in the hospital for 3 to 4 days, depending on how you're healing. They have you up and walking really quickly. It's within 12 hours. You're up. You have to breathe in this machine to make sure your lungs are actually working. I remember walking by because you have to do laps on the thing. And I walked by these nurses and they're like, look at you. And I said, summer bodies are built in winter. And I was like hobbling like an idiot. I know. And then I got picked up.
And she didn't have anybody in her. She had one person in her room.
I had one person in my room.
Because it was COVID.
Oh, well, it was a 2-person room. No, it was a 2-person room.
I know. All right.
It just happened to be, but Lou couldn't come and see me. She was allowed to sneak in for like 20 minutes after the surgery and then she had to go. But I was by myself and it was New Year's. But actually on New Year's, we got Lindor chocolates.
Okay.
I know. Well, what a gift from the hospital. So random. And then I went home and so began my recovery. Do you want to tell your surgery story or should I just continue with my recovery?
I don't care.
I'll just continue with my recovery because it's not long. So I was home. I had one minor blip in my scar with there's drains too attached to your breast. So you come home.
This is also different for different surgeons.
Very, very different. So my surgeon, Kelly likes to say she put scratch and sniff stickers on me and that's it.
I know you mentioned her name. Don't talk about her name.
Oh, who cares? But both surgeons are different. So I had tape where my drains were on either side of my breast, kind of under my armpits. And then I think I had a little bit of gauze across my stomach and then that's it. So I came home and then you have a home nurse that comes and checks your drains, whatever. I ended up having to go back because she's like, one of them was not draining. P.S. it was. And then the doctor just ripped it out of me. She was like, you're good. And sent me home. I was like, no stitches for these open wounds? No? Okay, that's cool. And then I had one small spot on my scar where it wasn't kind of closing as quickly as the others. So I went back to the hospital briefly. They cauterized it. They take these matches and snap them and then burn you from the inside.
This isn't for everybody.
No, this is just my situation. And then I went home and I was walking after about 3 weeks. And I would say by like week 9, I was good. I wasn't running marathons or anything, but I was up, moving good. Nobody was here. I was good to go. And then it kind of just progressed from that. After that, I had 2 surgeries to kind of fill out the aesthetics of it. I did fat transfer, which is liposuction, and put it in your boob, which didn't really take. And now my boobs are slightly uneven still. But here we are. Kelly, how did yours go?
So where did you start for yours? So was mine a year after?
I think at least a year.
Went in, met with the surgeon that I was put with. She was lovely, very meticulous. And also, I mean, I don't know if yours was, but they are all for it, like no questions, just do it. And
No.
I met with the general surgeon. So the plastic surgeon picks their general surgeon is what I'm understanding, because that's what she told me. She said, I'm choosing this person, whatever.
We didn't have a choice of the.
No, but she chose whatever. And it was a lot of women, but I had a mix, women and men. I would say ask more questions. Are you sure you want to do this? Have you done this? Why don't you do more genetic just the difference? Like, why don't you do more genetic testing or, blah, blah, blah. And I finally and he was very nice. I finally said to him, I said, it's funny. I said, I researched you before I came in here. And I know you love like genetic research. He
Data.
Data. He loves all that. And he's laughing. He's like, I do. And I said, that's not me. I want them gone. So I think after that, it wasn't as quick as yours.
No.
Anyway, I don't remember. I think I was actually supposed to have it, let's say, in February. And then they called again and said, nope, we can't. So it was April like 28th or something, or April 27th. So my surgery, okay, I don't like doctors, hospitals, whatever.
Kelly has the white coat syndrome.
I do, big time. I don't like it. So it was very stressful for me. Like beforehand, I was like, holy shit. Like I wanted to do it. There was no question I wasn't going to cancel, but I feel nauseous thinking about it now. So like I didn't sleep the night before. I remember the your alarm or whatever goes off and I was like, oh my God, like in like a fog. I go there.
I was in the bathroom taking pictures of my nipples. I was like, bye guys.
Again,
see you never.
You don't need to have no nipples, people. That's like, anyway, whatever. So I don't know, you go at 7:00, go in. So because mine wasn't COVID, but it was still like, whatever you call it.
Protocol?
Yeah, like there's still protocol. So Mike couldn't come into like the pre-op room. Yours probably, because now it's different. But so you literally go and you have your bag and they're like, okay, see ya. And I was like, okay, see ya. And you're sitting in the pre-op room or whatever. And my room had, I'm going to say 10 people.
Oh, me too.
Waiting.
Sure. Yeah. Everybody gets wheeled away. It's like, you're next.
Yeah. So you're waiting there. The plastic surgeon came in.
They marked
drew some pictures on me. This is what we're going to do. Da, 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 da. And I'm like, okay. And then I waited and I'm like, guys, I just want you to know I'm really anxious for the IV and stuff. And so then the anesthesiologist came in and I said, like, I don't want though Ativan really in my, because then I feel like I'm crazy. Like I overthink.
But why wouldn't you want it?
Because in my brain, I'm like, oh God, what if it makes me feel all weird or whatever. This is my head. You could do an episode on my head if you want. So
we don't have time.
She secretly went behind and did it anyway. And I said, what are you doing? And she's like, shh,
it's just better for all of us.
And I said, did you just give that?
She's like, you already signed the form.
Honestly, I was like, did you just give that to me? I said, no, I said, whatever. Anyway, obviously it was good. I was like, okay, I'm relaxed. So then I go into the room with the 85 million people and, I like to talk a lot, which is shocking. And I said, what happens if you guys need to pee? Like, you're in here for how long? And the one nurse said, some surgeons allow you to leave and some don't. And I was thinking, how the shit? That's crazy to me. That's crazy to me.
You probably just don't drink.
Anyway, so when I am put under, I cry. So I lie there and they're like, okay, tell me your name. My name's Kelly. I'm an idiot. And they're like, okay. And
you're probably like, okay, just go to sleep.
Honestly, for no reason. You feel nothing. Like,
nothing.
It's the stupidest thing. But I was lying on it. It's like there's a million people. It's stainless steel.
Sure.
It's mental.
It's cold. It's metal.
So then when I woke up.
Wait, so hold on. So Kelly's surgery happens.
Oh, sorry.
And I'm at home. We're all at home. We're like, okay, Kelly will be out. The surgery is 9 hours. I just did it. Whatever. 9 hours passes, 9.5 hours passes, 10 hours passes, 10.5 hours passes, 11 hours passes. I'm like, what is happening?
I know.
This is a long ass surgery.
It
Like,
was, yeah.
something is wrong. Because why the fuck would it take 3 more hours?
It's the size of my boobs.
It's the size of her boobs. And I didn't really factor that in.
Everybody wants to see now.
Honestly, we'll show you at the end, guys. She'll flash you at the end.
I'm not an exhibitionist.
But she's
anymore.
Just a far larger breast.
Yes.
So it just, and she did do a reduction at the same time. So for mine.
Well, so basically, yeah. So so let me just explain that really quick. She said before the surgery, obviously, like weeks and weeks before, she said, what are you looking to get out of this size wise? And I said, oh, fuck, I want to be smaller. I said, so I guess, I don't know what size I was before. I'm just trying to think.
Like an H.
Yeah. Probably. Oh, I said,
the doctor said she had very pendulous breasts.
Wow. I said, I want them small. Like I do not want big boobs anymore. I'm over it. It's been my whole goddamn life.
We are sisters, full blood, but we are very different body types. And you have our mothers.
You have a flat ass.
I have no ass. I buy bum pads for my cute dresses. She does not.
Don't, because there's something there. So basically she explained to me that, because I said, can you just choose a size? And she's like, you can't necessarily choose a size. So I'm going to explain this, not scientifically. She said that to a point, like, let's say I was like, I want a C. Spoiler alert, that didn't happen. So I was like, I'd love a C. I think she said everybody wants a C. I don't know why. But when they cut the fat out, so again, it's not like the liposuction where it's just like jello.
Like liquid, yeah.
It's like a block. So
it is like layers. Like if you picture it, I mean, like a lasagna, but like for real, like layers of noodles. Picture that, like stacked
of boob,
of belly fat.
Oh yeah, sorry, a lasagna of belly fat. So she said that depending on where the blood vessels are, you can't necessarily cut it in half.
Yeah.
So it's like, do you know what I mean? It's like the out.
So you're kind of trying to fill the breast. I'm shaping my breast for you if you can't see, like the circle of the breast with square cubes almost, you know what I mean? But they're not hard. But they're trying to fit them in there as best they can.
So because the cup size is measured, what do you call that? The
depth,
I guess. Yeah. So depending on where the blood vessels are, they maybe couldn't make it small enough.
Yeah.
For that. Anyway.
And for mine, I said, my breasts are uneven. Can you even them out? And she said, no, I can't. I need to fill what's there. And I was like, well, that's trash.
Yeah, that's weird.
I mean, I guess she could have, but anyway.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's what the original conversation was about mine. I said, I definitely want them smaller.
So that's a different surgery. So for mine, it's just cut around the nipple. That's where mine are. But Kelly has like a lollipop where you could do, if you were doing implants or stuff, that's a fairly common stitch, right? Because they were getting rid of some of the tissue as well.
So there's nothing. There's a circle, there's a lollipop, and there's an anchor.
Yeah.
Those are the scars that you would have. And she said, yeah, there's no way I could do a lollipop or a circle. She said, I have to do, because you need to open the flaps at the bottom. Anyway, so I said, okay, well, do what you can do. Like Did
you have the anchor or the lollipop?
Currently I have one of each.
Right. We'll get there. Carry on. So she has this very long surgery.
Oh my God, guys, I know. So it was 11 hours. So I woke up, I woke up, I remember in the hall.
Like wheeling you?
Yes, that's when I woke up.
I woke up wheeling to the recovery room.
Because I had a conversation with I
said, what time is it? And she said, 5:30. I said, what?
So she obviously, there's your main plastic surgeon, plus there's always a bunch of residents. Mm-hmm. So the one resident, so I woke up and I was like, oh, or something. And he's like, yep, you're awake. And I said, oh, okay. And he said, it all went well, this and that. And he was talking to the other resident. I could, you can hear, and he's like, she's going to be really happy with this because her stomach's really flat now. And I said, oh my God, do I look like a supermodel? And he's like,
yes,
you do. I said, I love it. But then I also said, I'm in pain. I said, but I can feel, I said, it's hurting, right? Like you can't see sorry, I keep forgetting this is a podcast. I'm touching my xiphoid process. Look it up. It's your sternum. And I'm like, around there. I said, oh, it hurts really like right there. And he pressed, obviously not to be a dick, but I think he was trying to make sure, he said, does it hurt right here? And I was like, fuck yeah, that hurts. He's like, I removed 2 ribs. Like who the fuck are these guys? What? I said, like I'm right out of it.
What was it actually?
I don't know. Probably the stuff that was pressing down, maybe like, well, they're like
Yeah,
working on
clamps and
it.
stuff.
Like I'm sure they're leaning.
You know what hurt for me for weeks? The ditch of my elbow, because your elbows are straight, your arms are strapped down on
Yeah.
either side so straight for like 10 hours. So when I tried to bend it, the ditch felt bruised for weeks. It was so weird.
I don't think it's called a ditch.
That's for tattooing. You call it
I'm
a
going to
ditch.
say a crook.
The crook of my elbow.
Anyway, so rude. He said he took some ribs. He didn't. And then I went obviously to the recovery area. It was so busy.
Post-op, they put you in a room for the first couple hours with like all the other post-op people. So there was like 8 other people in my room originally.
I don't really remember that part, to be honest. They said,
I said, I'm going to throw up in that room.
I was like, I'm so thirsty. I'm so thirsty. I'm so thirsty. And they said, I know, but you're going to feel sick. And I said, I'm not. I said, just give me water.
I said, can I have an ice cube? And then she said, you're going to be sick. And I said, I need it. And then I had it. And I said, you know what? I'm going to throw up.
Yeah, I don't get sick though. So I said, I need water right now.
And then they put Gravol in my thing. I'm like, why wouldn't you do that originally?
Yeah, that's weird.
Anyway.
They gave me, so anyway, I took some water. I said, I don't feel good. It was not from being sick. Just, they said that my blood pressure went down a little bit. I don't know why.
Well, it's a long surgery.
I guess.
Machines are working for you.
Yeah. So anyway, so that, I don't really remember the recovery room then. And then I obviously to the next area where they're checking you every hour. They put those massage things on your legs for blood clots, I guess.
You get blood thinners in your thigh. That stung.
Yeah, that hurts like a bitch.
That needle?
You have to get a needle every day for a blood thinner.
Oh,
it does sting.
Awful.
It's just the worst. Not the worst. Listen, it is what it is. I just mean for everybody to having, like I'm saying for the nurses too, there's all of these people in the same area.
Oh, so busy.
And it's constant. So you have
and people are like, like across.
Oh, terrible. There you have your medicine button, your morphine, I guess, or whatever it was. So that was terrible for me. The morphine, not morphine. What was it?
Morphone.
Yeah. For some reason,
I didn't have a thing. They just gave me a pill.
No,
I had every 2 hours.
Oh, my thing just cracked. But look at me going like this. They said you can't give yourself too much. All night, the whole first night.
God. I didn't have that at all. They came in with pills and they were like, how's your pain? I said, it's okay. She's like, just take these. We're not going to let it get to bad. And I was like, okay.
Nope.
So every time they came in with a pill, I took it.
I had a constant drip.
There you go.
I had a pain management person.
What the? Nope.
That would come and say, how's your pain? I saw the amount of morphine you gave yourself last night. Yeah. You're trash.
I didn't have that at all.
She's trash.
I just had little pills and I was like, yes, I will take them. Thank you.
No, I had morphine. So speaking of the differences. So also my surgeon, she's real meticulous. She's a real meticulous lady. I had drains.
You needed more drains anyway, though.
She does them anyway.
In your stomach.
No, she does them.
I would have had them in my stomach if
she
was
does them anyway.
Yuck.
That's nice. So I had 2 drains up top, like I guess it's on your breast. I don't know.
It was the side. It was under the armpit, right?
And then 2 drains below, like I'm trying to
the scar,
I guess. So like way below your belly button, basically, to drain the fluid from your stomach. She loves the drains.
So drains are basically like a butter knife length that's perforated. So there's holes all the way down it. So the lymphatic fluid seeps into that butter knife and then goes out of a tube into these little balloons.
I'm sure you've seen
hanging off your body.
All the plastic surgery people have drains up.
Not everybody watches Bravo like you.
Do you watch Real Housewives?
No.
Probably you do. Anyway, so I had 4 drains, which you have to deal with on your own, which is...
We had a home nurse, though.
Yeah. I just mean like in the hospital, obviously they do it. Whatever. So
and a catheter. My catheter clogged.
Yeah, I had no problem with my catheter. So basically, the first time I stood up, okay, so the one night...
Did you have bindings already?
Well, they were still doing all this stuff. So no. So anyway, morphine. That was me all night. And then the next morning they said, okay, you need to stand up. So what I was going to say, the hydromorphone in intravenous made me super dizzy. Like I couldn't even read my phone. So the whole first night, I know people were trying to text me and I was like to the nurse, I can't see anything. It was messed up, but I didn't want to be in pain. So I didn't really say anything. And I told the pain management person after, I said, I can't see. Like I'm that dizzy. So they eventually obviously changed it to pills anyway, but that was weird. I didn't like that. So then I stood up for the first time and my whole chest seized. Yeah, it was terrible. I was like, I can't breathe.
Well, that's why. So
they
give you this thing where it's like you have to blow air and elevate a ball because your lungs have been atrophied. I mean, you're breathing, but like,
I'm assuming mine because it was so long.
yeah.
And that's what they said. So they actually brought an x-ray machine in. They x-rayed my lungs to make, I know, this bitch over here thinking, "It's nothing."
I had chocolates, guys.
They x-rayed my lungs just to whatever, make sure, blah, blah, blah. And they said, yeah, you just have to work it out, which I hate the feeling of not being able to take a breath.
Obviously.
Makes me want to do it right now. So I hate that feeling. So,
But it's just breathing, really. That's how you're working it.
but that, yeah, I didn't love that. Obviously, though, being on the morphine helped the anxiety. So I really didn't have anxiety during this. It was
well,
like,
it's done. Yeah.
yeah, like it, but even if there was something, you're kind of like, so I had that. And then they put me into a room. They said there are no, because I wanted semi-private, look at me. I think
So bougie.
I think I'm a real housewife. I would like a private room, please. In Ontario. That's just hilarious.
Yeah.
There was 8 people in my room
Oh, God.
for 4 days.
No. Did you
4
stay for the
days.
full 4?
Yeah. And yes, because my left breast is an underachiever, I guess. It was really just taking longer, I think, for it
Mine
to,
too.
like the blood vessels, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, yeah. So terrible. I hated being in the room with the 8 people. I'm not even going to tell. These people this is it's not Princess Margaret, but it's the oncology floor. People are going through terrible
Yeah.
shit.
It's, yeah.
And I'm
awful.
like, this is terrible. So then I'm like, oh my God, I can't complain.
No.
You know, like, it's just the worst that way. So
You don't want to be there. Mine said, listen, you can stay for 4, but you can also go home after 3. And I was like, let's fucking go.
they didn't.
I do not want to be here. Like, I'm out.
No, I
So-
wanted to leave, but they didn't let me. Not for whatever. They just wanted to monitor me longer. So anyway, yeah, you're there the 4 days. If you ever do it, make sure you take your medication every 3 hours. There was one time I fell asleep and I woke up and I thought, oh no, I've waited too long.
You messed up.
My whole body was like burning.
Dumb.
And I was like, oh fuck. And I like buzzed them. I said, I need my medication.
It just came and woke me up. She's like, here you go. I'm like, thank you, ma'am.
Well, there were not 8 people in.
I guess.
So whatever. So I did that, went home. Day 4. The first home nurse, same thing, didn't really know what he was doing, to be perfectly honest. So my surgeon, again, being completely different, requires a surgical bra that she gave me a prescription for. What did I? Oh, if you say fun fact, Nix, the brand Nix that everyone loves. It is
the Catalyst bra.
It's
right?
Like this. She's like, it's an amazing bra. And I that's one of the ones I recommend. So there's like obviously specialty shops, but she's like, this is also amazing. So I obviously got the next one because why not? She required, what do you call that?
Binding?
Yeah. What do you call that thing?
Like a girdle?
I guess.
It is like a girdle, like a Velcro.
I don't know where my brain is.
hernia.
I should have wrote notes before this.
Girdle to suck everything in and keep your.
She wants compression. She wants compression. So I had to wear a compression garment for 6 weeks, the surgical bra for 6 weeks.
So sweaty. What a nightmare.
4 drains. And so when doctors will tell you to remove after there's a certain amount of output of liquid, but all doctors are different. So mine basically was like, you can't take them out until there's 10 milligrams.
Mine was like 30 milliliters.
Like no shit.
She's like, whatever.
So I was like, God damn it. Like, son of a bitch.
You had them forever.
I had them.
It's so nice to get them out.
Oh, God. It's terrible.
It's a terrible.
The first 4 days for real, when you're home, for the first week, I'm like, I feel disgusting. Really.
Kelly came over after mine and I was in bed and I'm sitting there and one of our other girlfriends, they're chatting on the end of the bed and all of a sudden my head just goes back and then I open my eyes and they were gone. Like,
I was like, all right, let's
they just left. Like, you are not there.
Yeah.
Just.
So my poor husband had to, because obviously
a 2-year-old.
You do have a home nurse.
Yeah.
But the drains have to be emptied twice a day.
Yeah. I emptied my own drains.
I did eventually. But at the first I was like, no. The other thing is you said that I could stand up straight right away.
Yeah.
I had no issues.
I was hunched completely. And again, I think that's it sounds cool that I had to put on weight and everything, but it wasn't because I didn't have enough fat. So it was like I had to hunch over for the skin to connect, So when I would stand up straight, I couldn't. I physically could not stretch my
And I had no problem.
Or my muscles. So that was very different.
I could have probably done a yoga class.
I was hunched over like fucking the Grinch.
No, I didn't really have pain like that. You just
it wasn't painful.
No, it's like you feel whatever. Anyway, and then I had a good nurse. He's my favorite. We're friends on Instagram
Yep.
because he saw my boobs every day. And he was really good. So finally I got, because I had some issues. So
What were the issues?
okay. So my
Your left breast.
shit. Why didn't I do notes? What's it called
The
again?
incision?
No, what do you call it when it's like dying?
Necrosis?
Yes, necrosis. There we go. So first, it was okay, but the one definitely was like, it just felt like harder and like heavier, and it was draining a lot. Blah,
So
blah,
when
blah.
you come out of this surgery, they feel like rocks. Like your boobs feel like rocks. And I was ill prepared for that. I was like, oh my God, this is not what I anticipated. But the nurses explained, because you have a surgical nurse that you talk to on the phone after, that they soften. So eventually, as time passes, the tissue softens, everything turns like, you can't see me right now, but I'm feeling my boobs and they feel like regular boobs. Truly, the fat turns into the fat like a breast would feel. However,
I also just felt mine.
there are certain, like mine still has it over here. There are certain spots that never soften completely. So it feels like a lump, honestly. Like if I didn't have the surgery, I'd be like, dear God, that's cancer.
I have no lumps.
But Kelly's feel like squeaky Barbie boobs.
No, only one of them. So
that's necrosis. So what it is,
this is like a good Tinder profile. If anybody's looking.
So this one little spot is necrosis
like.
where the tissue will not soften. It has died, but they can't take it out because then it would leave like a huge gaping hole.
Yeah. So to a point. So it was just it just didn't feel the same. It didn't, whatever. I would call and I'm like, or my nurse would be like, yeah, I don't know. It seemed blah, blah, blah. I don't know how long after. Okay. So I had it in April. Okay. So let's say May, probably. So my nurse would come every other day at this point, like every other day, maybe every 3 days, to change the dressings, da 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 da. All of a sudden, I remember so clearly, he's like, and I'm like, what the fuck? Because I didn't look at my anything. I don't want to see my incisions. I'm a big chicken. No, thank you. And I said, what the fuck are you saying? I said, you're stressing me the fuck out. And he's like, relax. He's like, it's just, there's a whole bunch of draining that my drains have been out now at this time, but not my stomach ones, but that's a whole frick. So he was like, there's just a lot of drain. So within a day after that, it was draining constantly, and where my, scar should be healing at this point, like obviously.
So she had the scar, she had the circle around the nipple and then the scar going down like the lollipop.
Yeah.
And that kind of was where things started to go awry. So it was like a seam, right? And this seam slowly started to peel apart where we could see into her soul.
Literally.
I could see her uterus through
blackness,
her breast.
And it's confirmed my soul is black.
I could see it.
Yeah.
But it started to peel apart and you could see the tissue, the fat. That stuff doesn't gross me out. Like, I don't want to look at it, but it slowly starts to peel apart. And it's not as simple, because that little spot that I had on my thing, I talked to a nurse friend of mine and I said, why can't you just stitch it? Like, can we just stitch this part back up and then have it heal? And she said, you can't, because wounds, incisions, surgeries heal from the inside out. So it has to start at the very back, kind of, and slowly heal. And then your skin is the last part that connects it, that heals everything together.
Tunneling.
It is tunneling. So it started as just like a hole.
Yeah.
And
but
then
it was
got
obviously
so much worse. We'll put up a graphic of Kelly's breast right here.
They look good now. I don't want people thinking that I'm hideous.
But that was
okay. So it was the worst. Like my friend Angie also says, I always say the worst. So now I want you guys to all notice it. So it was, so there was obviously tunneling behind it. So it had started to open from behind, and then that was the last part. So my nurse, he loves that. Like he's fascinated. He's like, I just need to look at it. And he was so good. He took pictures, because I said, I need you to take a picture because I had to send it obviously to the surgeon's office. And he's like, yep. So he took the pictures for me, but eventually it was opening so much that they had to like pack it, like
with gauze. So you stick it in a hole.
Oh God.
That's what she said.
God.
And then they also ordered you a vacuum.
So obviously, right, like when it got really bad, the pictures are disgusting. I obviously went in to see her. Yep. You have some necrosis. So some of the fat didn't take or whatever.
Also, your boobs are so heavy.
And they were very heavy. And she said to me, my husband is there, and she said, so back to the size. She also is very, mine is an aesthetic doctor, very, very aesthetic. So she's like, you're very tall. You're very curvy. Thank you.
Curvaceous?
Curvaceous. Thank you. No, she did though. She was like, you're very curvy. I don't think you would look good with smaller boobs. And I'm like, I get it, but I just fucking hate them. So when I went back anyway, so she did, listen, she filled them smaller than I was originally, but they were still freaking big.
Yeah.
So she said, are they too big still? I feel like maybe they are too big. I said, yeah, they're too big for sure. Like I'm good to go smaller. Like yep, please do. So she was very good. She said, this is what's happened. She said, I'm going to give you a wound vac first, like to try to see if it'll heal that way. So you also, I don't think you said, once you have the first surgery, it's always 2 surgeries, but the second one is not for a year after, usually.
Yeah. I completely forgot that I had a second surgery.
Which is so rude. But
yes, you have to wait.
Usually, so it's not ever a 1 surgery.
Yeah, because of my dog years.
Oh my God.
I completely forgot. So the second surgery, so when they sew up your stomach, it ends up looking like the end of a milk bag. So you have like these points out, and then you go back for a second one and they fold those under
and fix anything they fucked up. Not they fucked up. Like
that's when I had my first liposuction to fill the second. Oh yeah.
So it's always like a year later. So this was only 2 months after my surgery. Yeah. And, she said, this is what's happened, blah, blah, blah. Let's try the wound vac first. This goddamn wound vac, you have to wear it. It's literally like suction. Well, they pack your tunneling and with like it's like salt paper too, because it draws out stuff. And then it's on 24 hours a day. You have to bring it with you. It's like a machine. It's like I looked like I was like going around doing karaoke, like on your shoulder,
not
like
nearly
like
as
the
fun.
speaker, like I'm walking around with it. Anyway, so that it was annoying as shit. So that's, I don't know, 2-3 weeks, I guess I had to wear it, which I hated. It worked, I guess, a little bit, but not enough. Like it wasn't going to close. So we went back and I said, like it's almost summer.
Yeah.
We go away once a year. This is shitty, whatever. Like I know it is what it is. And she said, well, she said, we have to do a second surgery anyway. She said, why don't I do it now? Like in June. And she said, we'll just do your second surgery early. She said, I'm going to remove it. I'm going to, again, she's so aesthetic. She's like, I don't really like how your one boob, the other one, like, just falls to the side. She said, I really just, I'm going to remove the fat from your back and like move it forward. And I said, excellent. She said, how about lipo? Would you like some lipo?
Yeah.
I said, yes, I would.
While I'm in there.
Yes, I said, absolutely. So she was very happy to do that. The surgery was booked, oh my God, 2 weeks later. So because I'm a check-in, I said, I have the fluid here. I didn't go I eventually got my drains out of my stomach out, which were in for 3 weeks, which is longer than probably anyone would usually have them. And my stomach started filling with fluid.
It was like a bed, guys. Like she would push one side and the fluid would like wave across.
So when I was there and I was like, please, I said, hey, while I'm under, can you give me some Botox? She's like, oh, Kelly, you're fine to get Botox when you're away. And then I said, okay, but while I'm under, can you just drain the fluid then so I don't have to do it now because you have to get rid of this fluid? And she's like, no, I want to do it now. I said, I don't want to. And she said, we're going to do it now. So that was another goddamn thing. I had to stand. Well, this nurse stuck a needle in my stomach and drained all of this fluid. And I would say after about 10 minutes, I said, I feel hot. I said, I'm feeling really hot right now. And she's like, yep. All right. Nope. Let's go sit down and whatever. So that was just an extra fun thing. So I went back for the surgery.
Wait, you didn't even tell me when I was your nurse.
Because that was after the second
that's
surgery.
After the second surgery?
Yes.
It tunneled again?
Yes.
Oh my God.
It's like she wasn't even here. Like, what is? I know.
Mine
nobody even cares.
Easy.
I didn't get any sympathy.
No, because mine was so easy.
I haven't. Nobody sent me soup. Nobody made me fresh bread. I go in for my second surgery. This one's just a day surgery.
Yeah.
But she had to do both boobs, like just to make them whatever. She said, I'm going to fix this one. I'm going to make this one smaller and close up the wound from the inside. Yeah. So that's why they could do it that way.
Not nearly as invasive.
No. So like she just, instead of waiting 10 years for it to heal, she's like, because then the scar is going to look uglier. She's like, I'm going to do it. Fine. So I was in the surgery and the liposuction at the same time. I got a lot of liposuction. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I really got a lot of CCs. I think she took the max amount. Like Stacey got like 10 or 11.
It was like 15 cc's. It
Yeah.
was so stupid.
And she took over 600 of
Oh
me.
my God. I wish.
She said, just in your waist. I'm just gonna, just like make it.
A little tricky.
And it fucking hurts afterwards.
It really does.
Liposuction, that
The
I would
bruising
show
is
people.
terrible.
It's like I got beat up. Anyway, so I went in. My surgery was like 2 hours. Mike was like, what the hell? Plus it wasn't COVID really anymore. So he was able to come in with me.
Yep.
He was in like the pre-room, the after room, just calmer. Like it was a lot calmer. I came out, went home that night. So same thing, of course. She still wanted drains in my boobs. The stomach thing was, I didn't have to because she didn't touch that. So the boobs, yeah, we did that. Everything seemed fine. The wound closed up. My scar is a little bit big, which I don't love, but the same fucking thing started happening on my good boob.
The other boob?
Yes!
Oh my God. I thought it was the same boob.
No, just a little dot, and started opening again. And I was like, what in the shit? So I called and they're like, come in. So I went in and I said, what am I doing? She was like, don't worry. I said, I want to go away. Like, I'm not even gonna be able to go away now. And she's like, you know what, Kelly? You can. She said, do you feel comfortable packing your own wounds? My husband's there too. And I said, like, no. But in my head, I thought, I'm going to say yes because I want to go away. I said, yep, I think we'll be good. We'll take care of it. And she's like, okay, well, we'll show. And Mike is like, yeah, I can't do that. Like he doesn't really get queasy, but he was real queasy about it. So I just said to her, blah, blah, blah. And I said, why? Like I asked, I remember my home nurse and all these some people say maybe my body just was rejecting the stitches. Like some people just don't like stitches. Your body's like, what the fuck is this? And pushes them out. So I don't even know. But so then we went away and my home nurse was like, if you come back once at least, he would do it like on a Wednesday. Yeah. But he showed Stacey how to do it.
I did it, guys. So I learned, I'm like, okay, teach me all of this disgustingness. So you have to take a piece of gauze and it is like I'm going to say it's like,
it's a ribbon. It's a ribbon.
A ribbon of gauze. Thin. Yeah, it looks like a shoelace, but it's covered in salt and like liquid,
iodine,
I guess.
probably.
Iodine. Mm-hmm. And it's like 2 feet long at least. And so I get my gloves, I get my stuff, I learn how to do this. And it's literally like taking a long Q-tip and pushing this shoelace into the hole in her body. And I'm doing this, and I have to pack it every day. So every day I have to take tweezers and pull out 2 feet of pus-covered, disgusting gauze and then repack it.
Yeah. And I would just be like, is it a little bit shallower? Please tell me it's a little bit shallower. So I couldn't swim. I couldn't do shit that year. Anyway, is annoying.
I did it though, guys.
Yeah. So that happened. It's finally healed there. And
now you just have one more.
And I just have fucking one more because the other one, even though the scar closed amazing, the new scar that she did closed amazing, there's still hardness.
It feels like there's like a balloon under.
I know.
It's
like annoying.
It's weird.
She basically, I saw her a couple months ago and she said, again, she's very aesthetic. She's like, I don't like your stomach because I also have a C-section scar.
My surgeon's like, you're fine.
Honestly.
You're good.
Honestly, mine's like, I don't like it. She said.
I'm like, what about? She's like, you're good.
Yeah. And just dismissed you. Mine is so I have a C-section scar, whatever. It's in a different place. She's like, I don't like it. I need your stomach to be flatter. I was like, wow. She wants it flatter.
My stomach is wicked flat.
Like the bottom of it is mine is pretty freaking flat.
Really,
it is, but she wants it flatter. She wants to fix my upper stomach as well.
Are they going to remove more?
So yeah. So she said to me, which boob do you like better? And she wants the bigger one. I know it.
I know.
And I said, no, I like the smaller one. And she's like I could see her face probably like.
They're really not that much
No, it's
different.
not. Jesus Christ. It's still like a D.
Yeah.
Flip, man. Like the one that I want to keep is like a D.
I think I was a D when I was nursing.
So everyone, I still have big boobs. Oh, for all the people that care. Oh, Yeah, I said, I like this one, and she's like, okay. So she said, I want you to get, so rude, to the weight that you want to be, like for real, for real. She also wants me to lose a little bit because she wants to pull my stomach down more. And I will have nipples
Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. So
for everyone who cares.
they can listen, so they can create, they can't save your nipple, but they
It's
can
just a
they
color of
can
skin. Who
create a
cares?
new I'm just telling,
Well,
like, you
I think
can't
they
put it in
get
a
it.
fucking formaldehyde jar and attach it later. You have to create a new one. So
Also, hold on. Some people can save the nipple. You can, but it doesn't matter. Go on.
so they create a new one. Basically, they just like bunch up your skin and make it look like a nipple, and then you would tattoo it.
Mhm.
Ellie's all about this.
I like nipples.
I'm not so much. I feel like the whole point of wearing like nude bras is to cover your shit. So why do you even need to have them if that's what you're covering?
I wear a nude bra so people can see my nipples.
Again, her whole gallery of people that are looking at her breasts on the daily. OnlyFans,
I,
hashtag Kelly big boobs.
if I could make money,
Off your scarred, lumpy weirdo boobs.
Mike, turn this off. Guys, if anyone wants to send me money.
I'll show you my scars.
So basically, this next surgery, I'm hoping is the last one. She says she's going to do a little more liposuction.
Oh my God, so lucky. So I went
Yes.
actually to Kelly's surgeon because the unevenness is fairly extensive. So I was like, listen, what can we do? Is there an option for me at this point? And I would have to pay. So I can, and then she would really liposuction me. Like I would,
Oh, yeah.
for real, because the other one was literally just a couple of cc's to kind of fill in wherever. But the problem with that is that when they put the fat in the breast to like fill it out, it kind of just dissipates into your body because there's nowhere for it to stay,
Like it absorbs.
and yeah, like there's no, if it was like a little pool that it could hold, but it doesn't, it's your breast, right?
I guess to prove. You get all of your, what do you call it?
Oh, your
They
notes.
test. Yeah, when they
Oh, yeah,
test
yeah,
all
yeah.
of your, it starts with a P also. But anyway,
Pathology.
yes, your pathology. So because they still test you,
Yeah.
by the way, for all breast cancers and all that stuff to see if there was any anyway. And so that was clear, but they also weigh your
Yeah.
boobs when they come out
Yeah.
because they want to, I guess, figure, I don't know.
How much they took, how much they filled. It's very
Yeah. So I think
ridiculous.
the two of I know what mine was. The two of yours were,
One was like 400.
no.
It was
Yours
like
were
350
less.
and 400, wasn't it? And yours was
No.
like 12.
No,
What?
mine was 1350
Yeah.
mils. Yours together was like 400 and something. But that's the difference. That's what I was saying. So that was the difference.
Yeah, it was large difference.
It's a big difference in everything. Just, yeah. So, my takeaway is, would I do it again? Yes, I would.
Yeah.
People ask me all the time. Yes,
Do
I
they?
would.
Yeah, 100%.
All the time.
100%. I know you had such a struggle, but even with the
People
struggle,
ask me, but
for the peace of mind.
Yeah, it was the anxiety. I've talked to other people. They say they hate their early detection, genetics
Yeah.
appointments. They hate it.
It's
Not everyone.
No. But I always say to people, like, listen, at the end of the day, something's going to get me, but it's not going to be this, because watching our mother go through it was not pleasant. It was not a good time. I would rather avoid that outcome if I have any kind of say.
Yeah,
in
no,
it.
I would do it again for sure.
Anyway, all in all, it was a solid experience, but two very different experiences. So if you talk, because when people talk to me, I'm like, yeah, it was great. It was no problem. But that's not always.
And then when people ask me, I said, no one gave me soup. No one baked me bread.
No one had to.
But yes, I would answer any questions.
Yeah, if you have questions,
For real, I
you can
don't
reach
care.
out. We will show you our
Anything.
breasts. I
I
can't
won't.
tell you the amount of people that have seen my boobs. I'm like, do you want to see them? Because they're like, you have no nipples. I'm like, yeah, do you want to see it? I don't care.
People, yeah. I probably won't be showing everyone, but
She
I
will
will
on her OnlyFans, hashtag Kelly Big Boobs.
and I will eventually. After
eventually.
Eventually it's all done. I will put the after up for everyone.
There you go.
I don't care. I'm all for it.
So listen, if you have any questions, I mean, obviously reach out to your doctor because we are not doctors. This is just our personal experience. But there are things that you can do if this is something that's prevalent in your family or, you just wanted to know about it. And I think that it's a super positive thing for people to hear this experience because the reason that I did it is because I knew someone that did, not Angelina Jolie. My friend's wife went through this and I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, I don't think they're shocked that OHIP covered it.
Yes.
That's probably the main thing that I get.
For
They're
sure.
like, what do you mean? You didn't have to pay anything? I said, no, I did not.
Nope.
So that's, yeah. But obviously you have to have the history there.
But again, that's go to your doctor.
Yeah. All
Great
right.
times, guys. Thank you so
Great.
much.
Listen, thanks for coming to my podcast.
Hey, thanks for driving across the street, Kelly.
It was treacherous. What did your son say?
Long and
It
treacherous.
was long and treacherous.
A long and treacherous day. Thank you guys for listening to this week's episode of Things I Wish I Knew About. Now you know.